In every adversity, there's the seed of a greater advantage.
Hi everybody, Magda Schappert here with my husband Jason. Welcome to our house. You are probably used to see us in the studio with the big production going on and everything, but you know what? The adversity of this hurricane kind of opened up an opportunity for us to get outside of our comfort zones.
Yes.
and realize, you know what can we do to help other people outside of aviation?
Yes.
As you probably know, he is the expert in being on camera. I'm always the behind the scenes, so being out here for me is pushing myself out of the comfort zone. But you know what? This is what sometimes in life, to be successful, you have to do what others don't want to do. And with Jason, we decided to say, to think of what can we do different? How can we help people? Because this world is drowning on information, yet starving for knowledge.
Yes, it's so true, and drowning in information is a good way to put it, teeing up what we experienced with this flood. And our real goal for these channels, and there's links down below to kind of follow really Jason and Magda everywhere with what we're doing as we share more on relationships and marriage and business and finances and the highs and the lows, because experience is a teacher.
Yes.
And we want you to learn from our mistakes just as much as we want you to learn from our successes as well. And really to launch this new venture that we're doing, I think the flood, the adversity of the flood that we're turning to an advantage, as crazy as that sounds, I think is such a great way to really tee up this new endeavor that we're doing. And we'll really just kind of start at the beginning. Perhaps it's the pilot in me, but I am a preparer in all things. The reason we came down and we're even in Naples is, and maybe we'll share more of this when we talk finance and business, is Magda and I had an amazing opportunity to invest in Rexair, a just phenomenal flight school and maintenance shop down here in Naples. So that brought us down here. And one thing I knew from being in Florida almost all my life was, well, hurricanes are a real thing. So as soon as we moved down here, I bought all the hurricane preparedness. I bought the floodgates and these sandbags that inflate when water hits them. I mean, we built a wall around our fortress here. Essentially, it was to the point that when we knew, and this was a year ago, it was to the point when we knew the storm was coming and we're building this wall and everything else. I mean, remember the neighbors coming by, right? The neighbors going, where did you get all that stuff? Like, we've had this for a year. We've got gas. Everyone's scrambling. And we were prepared. And I think preparation is such a key to that. But maybe you want to share that sometimes even the best laid plans, sometimes you do all the prep, sometimes you make that 30-page business plan, and day one of business comes and things change. You can share a little bit about that.
Yeah, you probably saw the video of the flood, and I want to say that video was filmed before 9 a.m. in the morning. I think it was around 8 a.m. and high tide wasn't until 2:50.
2:50, and I want to add something else too. On the M0A Facebook, that is the most popular video ever. Like, we spend all this money on production and scripting and everything else, and then you just make a video standing in your office with water in it, and that goes viral.
Yeah, so sometimes, you can prepare as much as you want, but life just brings you interesting things, unexpected things, and you know what? It's not what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you that determines your destiny.
And even further, what you do in those moments. You could have hit the panic button and sat back and said, oh, woe is me. And instead, Magda and I were, diving in's a bad analogy to use, but it's somewhat true. We lost everything on the first floor. I'm talking cars. Did you know the hot water heater floats? It literally snapped off the wall and we were shooting more hot water into our garage. The washing machine was floating around the first floor. It was not where it belongs. We lost cars, we lost equipment, we lost shoes, we lost clothes, we lost a bedroom, my office.
Kids' toys.
Kids' toys. Oh, so sad to see like kids' shoes floating by, like just. And of all the things we had an opportunity to save, we could have saved furniture, we could have saved all these things. The one thing we went after was our books. I mean, we probably have thousands of books down in my office, my laboratory as we call it. And that was the one thing we saved.
And he had them all organized.
Alphabetized. That's the pilot in
Yes.
me, maybe. But they're not alphabetized now. They're kind of all throughout the house in different locations. But this is the thing. You can take away all of someone's stuff.
Yes.
All their money, all their possessions, but you cannot take away the accumulated experience. You cannot take away their knowledge. You cannot take away someone's mind, right? So you can take all these things away, but you can't take away that knowledge. And that's why I believe we were so just vicarious in going down there and grabbing all those books.
Yes, but I also want to add that it's also about the attitude. Going with the right, relentless attitude, because you have choices. We had plenty of choices. We could cry, we could wait, we could evacuate. We had many choices, and in every situation in life, personal, business, marriage, relationships, we have decisions to make every moment, and we can decide to be a victim or we can decide to create our destiny.
Well said.
So another reason why we want to start filming a little bit of behind the scenes of what we do is because we live in this world that it just, you don't know how many friends do you have or family members that when you see them, it's always, oh, how are you? We are doing
good,
so
we're great.
good, so good.
And most of the time, that's not true, right? We are here to share with you the stuff that happens behind the scenes. You see so often this beautiful production on stage, but you miss the chaos that happens behind the scenes, like losing your entire first floor and everything else, and you're expected to put a strong face on, but that's not always true.
Yeah. And also, the struggles that we have gone through personally, business, marriage, kids, being a stepmom to, you know, all these things. It's fantastic with the right attitudes.
The attitude to see the opportunities, the attitude, and I'll close this video just like we started it. In every adversity, there's a seed of a greater advantage. And that sounds amazing, but there's an important word in there, which is seed. What does a seed need? Well, a seed needs to first off be planted in the right soil, in fertile soil. If you throw that seed out there on the sidewalk, nothing is going to happen to it. If you throw that seed in among the weeds, it'll get choked up by the weeds the moment it begins to come up. That seed must be planted in fertile soil, but the planting's just half the battle. It needs to be watered to germinate. It needs sunlight to germinate. And even then, those little sprouts, as they come up, they still need love and attention and care to grow into the fullness of that advantage that awaits you. But the truth of it is, you can sit back and be a victim, or you can start to look around and say, where is my seed? And it might be so small. It might be a mustard seed, right? It might be so small right now, but with the attention, with the focus, with the knowledge, with the wisdom, that seed could be your greatest advantage. So this is a journey we're embarking on, and I hope you'll embark on this journey with us as well here. We're launching this video now on YouTube and Facebook. Be sure to like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. We also launched a joint Instagram and Twitter as well, links down there as well. Again, if you want to learn more on the topics of business, relationships, how about being married together in the same business, right? As well with that. Another big passion of mine is finances and equities and real estate. You'll hear all these sort of things that we do beyond just aviation. The good, the bad, the ugly, we're holding nothing back on that as well. So be sure to follow us across all those platforms. There's different information. Each platform will be used for disseminating different quotes and bits of inspiration and insight. And we hope you find this just in here, there's just a nugget of wisdom
Yes.
in here.
So maybe there is something we are going through or have gone through that you can learn from us and get better results than that we did or we got.
Yes.
And just we are in here together helping each other, and that's the
Yes.
unfiltered beauty
Of it
right?
all. In some upcoming videos, we'll share with you some of our goals, some of our successes, some of our failures, and really what we're doing right now as a couple. So we'll let you get back to enjoying your day. Go out there and just be a light and just operate with such a principle of seeking abundance in all that you do. I normally end every video saying a good pilot is always learning. Perhaps we say a good husband's always learning, a good father, a good mother, a good stepmother is always learning, a good business leader is always learning. We could add anything here. The main thing is that you just keep learning.
Yes.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you.